So with games like Ultra Pro Wrestling, The Wrestling Code, Neck Breakers, any other pro wrestling games in the works that haven't been announced yet, there's Casual Pro Wrestling, there's so many wrestling games that are basically in development. And who knows, maybe we'll get another AEW wrestling game too. Anyway, the whole point of this video is there's a lot of things that WWE 2K25 introduced this year or brought back this year that I would love to see in the games I just mentioned. So let's get into this. So the first thing I would love to see added to Ultra Pro Wrestling, and it doesn't have to be at launch, it could be down the road once they get the game established and what they're working on now. Otherwise, everything they want to keep adding to the game, or the list that us YouTubers or fans want added to the game, is going to push out the early access or the launch date of these games, because it takes time. They don't have a huge team like 2K does. They haven't been building off of a franchise that's been around for 20 plus years. They're all starting from scratch. So it's going to take some time. So anyway, I just want to throw this out there, give you some extra ideas that you could add to your game to make it even better. Let's get to it. All right, so the first thing I would love to see added to these wrestling games is, just like in 2K25, something I never thought I wanted, and that's the third-person camera. Now, I just made a video about this. Make sure you check it out, gushing about all the possible things they could do with it going forward to really revolutionize the 2K series. I think having that third-person camera option during gameplay would be really cool for Ultra Pro Wrestling, The Wrestling Code, Neck Breakers, every wrestling game in development right now. It just adds this unique element to the game where you feel like you're in full control of everything. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It makes it feel so different. It makes it feel like a completely fresh thing to me. Anyway, so to top that off though, it'd be really cool if they added like a lock-on feature so that the camera, even though you have control over it, if you lock onto your opponent, let's say you're doing a one-on-one match, the camera should like go behind you the whole time and stay with you the whole time. Kind of like in a third-person action game when you're fighting like an opponent or something, or a big boss, where you can lock onto that boss and the camera just follows wherever the boss is at. Something like that. That would be cool too. And then just have a little toggle where you can turn it on and off while in the game. Super fun. I love the third-person camera concept. I can't wait to see how they innovate it further. And plus, I would love to see what the indie developers do with it, because I feel like that's a whole new revolutionary thing. Something so simple, just the camera. Anyway, next thing, and Ultra Pro Wrestling is already doing this, and I believe the Wrestling Code is doing it also, and that's intergender matches. That needs to be a staple going forward. I think the only reason that 2K implemented it this year is because they know that all these other wrestling games are going to have it on launch. So we're talking Ultra Pro Wrestling's going to have it. We're talking about the Wrestling Code is probably going to have it. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea if women are even going to be in the Neck Breakers game. That game is still super early. We don't know much about it other than what they showed for the first trailer and what the developer has talked about. So that would be really sweet. Across the board, intergender matches, no longer splitting the roster in half. Next up, the third thing, which is really cool and I really liked in 2K25 this year, is they've introduced a little toggle, a little option for hybrid championships. In other words, you can make a male and female wrestler the tag team champions. You can make a male and female wrestler go for the same world championship. I almost said heavyweight, but it wouldn't be a heavyweight title if, because some people are not heavyweights. I don't even know why they call it the heavyweight championship anymore. They just call it the world championship, because not every wrestler is a heavyweight. Not anymore. Like, I don't even think Cody qualifies as a heavyweight, technically. I think he's a cruiserweight. I'll have to look into that, because I think you had to be, in the old days, you had to be over 140 pounds, or not 100, 240 pounds, right, to be considered a heavyweight. And I remember the thing that they were doing with Matt Hardy, where he was training to be able to wrestle in the cruiserweight division. Like, they did a whole skit and everything, and he made weight. So, I can compete for the cruiserweight title now. I remember that skit. I thought it was really funny. Anyway, so hybrid championships, like if you have like a story mode or anything, it'd be super cool if both the male and female wrestlers could go for any belt. Why not? All right, now, next up is number 4. free roaming areas. Now, I'm not talking about like a big island separate mode where you can walk around, although I think that's cool on the back end. I'm talking about like having an arena where you can go and talk to management, talk to the other wrestlers training in the back, go to the weight room, find collectibles, go walk around the ring before the show starts, practice your matches and stuff. Just like an arena or sections of the arena, kind of like they have the backstage areas in the WWE games. It'd be cool if they had just like a kind of like an open locker room area. And I think Ultra Pro Wrestling is trying to do something like that, but don't quote me on that. There's so much information about these games that they've laid out for us. There's also information that we don't know because it's been so long since we got a real new check-in for these games, like major check-in, because they've been working on it for a while. So number 5, just like in 2K25, and I believe older wrestling games did this too, the new game plus for their story modes. Being able to have your stats carry over to the next playthrough makes a huge difference in the replayability for the story mode in particular. One major flaw that AEW Fight Forever did was when you go to play the story mode again, it resets your created wrestler stats. That sucked. That made it to where you could not max out any single wrestler. And let's say you just wanted to play through it again for fun, you didn't care about maxing out your wrestler, it would essentially make your wrestler start from ground zero and you'd have to re-level them up, re-pick all their perks and everything. It just literally killed that entire mode. So hopefully we get New Game Plus. Nothing like AEW Fight Forever. I feel like that wasn't the plan. It just kind of worked out that way. So New Game Plus is a must for story modes, especially if you want us to play through it multiple times and have different branching stories and stuff like that. So please have New Game Plus. Number 6, I would love, just like the third-person camera, interactive entrances like camera controls, pyro controls like in AEW Fight Forever, stuff like that. It'd be really cool to make it like Wrestling Empire, where you have full control of your wrestler and you can walk around, climb on the barricade, and do taunts and stuff like that. I love that idea, but again, I feel like that would add on to the development time. But then, if you do go that route, you don't have to spend all this time making preset animations for people's entrances. You could literally just let the character or the player take control of their wrestler and act how you want them to act, or they want to act, I should say, when they come to the ring. Do they want to taunt? Do they want to intimidate the crowd? Do they just want to go right to the ring because they're pissed off? Do they want to take their time and go, no, I ain't fighting this guy, and head back to the back, and then the other guy has to chase after him? There's so many dynamics you could do with an interactive entrance. Again, this is a huge undertaking. I know it's not going to hit at launch, but something to think about down the road to add to your games as you guys keep, working on them. So yeah, interactive entrances. I love it in 2K25. I can't wait to see how they improve upon it in the future games, and I can't wait to see how indie developers approach it, because I feel like it's a must at this point. So the last thing I have written down here is a full-on universe mode or match card maker. Some way to set up at least one show to play through a bunch of matches, making our own shows. So I believe it was in the old Aki games. I forget which one it was because I played all of them last year because I bought them all on eBay, modded ones. And they had this thing called Matchmaker, if I'm not mistaken. And basically you just set up a string of matches. You set them all up, you preset it and everything, like cage match, whatever, and then you just play through them all, back to back to back. That way, unlike Exhibition, where you play a match, you go to the dashboard, reset up, play a match, go to the dashboard, back and forth. At the very least, if you can't implement a whole huge universe mode, at least have the match card option, because that would be super fun just to start. And then as your game progresses and gets more players and you get more time, more money and funding, then you could add a universe mode. Probably not to the extent of the 2K games, because that sucker is massive, but something really cool like that. Like you could start off with, like I said, this match card thing, 5 matches to start, and then an update down the road, 10 matches, more powerful hardware, 20 matches. I mean, I don't know why you'd want 20 matches on one one match card or whatever, or show card. But can you imagine 20 matches? What is this, an AEW show? What AEW show was that where it was like 12 hours long? It was all day long, and it was ridiculous. It's like, why would you do a show that long? I feel like 4 hours is the max, right? So for, like I said, to start 5 matches, I'm rambling on here. Let's move on. All right, so those are some things I would love to see the indie wrestling game developers implement into their games. It doesn't have to be day one, down the road. And I apologize, I'm still getting over my sickness here. I would love to see this down the road. Once the game's established, the game's out, you get all the features that you've already promised in the game, because that's going to be a huge undertaking. Little things like this to add on to make the game better throughout its life would be super cool to see. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below, and as always, stay frosty.